Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Down goes Amy Klobuchar. Down goes Amy Klobuchar. She is no longer in the running for Biden's VP pick. So this is according to a recent report by the New York Times. Ms. Klobuchar said during an MSNBC interview on Thursday that she had let Mr. Biden know, gave him a call on Wednesday night to say that she is no longer considering herself in the running for the VP slot, and says that instead of choosing her, that he should choose a woman of color to be his running mate. So now, look, for a long time, I've been like, he's going to pick Klobuchar or Gretchen Whitmer. It's going to be a boring, uninspired, terrible white ticket. It's going to be bad. And now, apparently, look, and a lot of this is because of the George Floyd protests, the Black Lives Matter protests, and Amy Klobuchar's record. She's no longer being considered. Now, of course, the reasons that I said that she was going to be picked originally is that she's bland, she's boring, she's a moderate, right? She's not going to overshadow Joe Biden. She's going to agree with him on most of his policy positions. And that's exactly what he's looking for. And they have a great relationship with each other, by the way. And not only that, but the donors and a lot of his supporters love Klobuchar. Absolutely love. Klobmentum. Right? But again, since you had her record on display because of the death of George Floyd, that happened in Minneapolis, where she happened to be the district attorney in Hennepin County, where this happened. So now, here's what the Times said. As the district attorney in Hennepin County, which encompasses Minneapolis, Ms. Klobuchar developed a tough-on-crime reputation 20 years ago that is a difficult fit with the modern Democratic Party politics. Though she has rebutted criticism that she failed to prosecute police misconduct, her record was scrutinized during the presidential campaign and would likely have become a major headache for Mr. Biden's campaign had he selected her as the running mate. Now, I love how it mentions, like, oh, her tough-on-crime reputation would be a headache for Joe Biden. Well, so is Joe Biden's reputation for and his record of being tough on crime, the 94 crime bill and all that stuff. So, I mean, I guess that would be an additional headache for Joe Biden, one that he is already facing for his own record. So there's that. But nonetheless, her record is exposed. She's done. So now she's out. Who's in? It's a good question. I think that, look, Whitmer was another one of my choices that I thought that he was going, and not my choice, like, not that I want to see her become, become the VP, even though, at least in handling coronavirus, she's actually done a pretty decent job. And so we got to be fair about that, right? So now, Whitmer, though, not a woman of color, so she's likely out, right? And so right now, the speculation is on a couple of people. Here you have Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala Harris has problems as well. Kamala Harris has, she was former prosecutor, right? And she actually failed to prosecute Steve Mnuchin for doing fraud. And so she's got a problematic approach. In fact, Kamala Harris, like, one of the famous things about her is Kamala Harris is a cop. And so she's got that record as well of going after parents for truancy, putting people in jail. So she also has some of those issues, right? So now another person is a relative unknown, and that's Representative Val Demings of Florida. And Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms of Atlanta, and another person that's on the short list, Susan Rice, former national security advisor under President Obama. So those are some of the picks, but it looks like Kamala and Demings are really, really high up there. And so, I don't know enough about Demings, but I can be assured that because that's the pick, or could be the pick, and since she's so high up, that she's probably not progressive. Another person not going to make it, Elizabeth Warren. but we kind of already knew that. Stacey Abrams also not going to make it, didn't win the Veep stakes. And so who do I want to see? That's the interesting question. Barbara Lee. I'd love to see Barbara Lee, right? She's incredibly progressive. She proposed, she just made a proposal to cut the Pentagon budget in half. Yes. Oh, I love it. Please do more of that. And look, even if Biden is just going for, token points, right? Well, she still checks off both boxes for him. And look, since she is progressive, she might actually get a little enthusiasm from Bernie Sanders supporters for his campaign. Because right now there's not a lot of, enthusiasm behind the Biden campaign at this point. Right now, Biden, like, people are basically planning to vote for Biden because he's not Donald Trump. This entire election right now is looking like a referendum, but that could change. And you might want to have someone on your side who not only can actually talk, because Biden seems to have a problem with that, but also has good positions, who's progressive, and who's bold. And so that would be a good choice. It would be an excellent choice. That said, I don't think that he's going to go in that direction because Joe Biden, look, I don't know if it's the hubris in this entire thing. Like, oh, don't worry, we got this, right? There's no way that we could lose to Donald Trump. Well, we've heard that before. Certainly the field is very, very favorable to Joe Biden right now, but that's not saying that things couldn't change. And maybe you might want to have a little bit of insurance by having somebody who's kind of more progressive and, has really good, solid policy positions behind her that are populist. I don't know. I hope. But knowing Biden the way that I know Biden, well, she's probably out of the running, and it's going to be someone like Harris or Demings specifically. It seems like he's going down the road of picking a black female VP, and so we'll see what happens. Maybe this speculation is wrong, and he might pick someone else, but we don't know. We'll see. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.